Artificial intelligence is advancing at a breakneck pace. We marvel at its abilities to translate languages, write different kinds of creative content, and answer your questions in an informative way. Yet, for all its sophistication, AI still suffers from a fundamental flaw: hallucination. AI systems often generate outputs that are factually incorrect or logically inconsistent. These hallucinations expose a critical weakness in their design. The problem lies in the way AI systems process and understand information. Unlike humans who learn and reason based on a rich mosaic of experiences and relationships, AI relies on vast data sets and statistical correlations. This approach, rooted in a philosophy known as nominalism, leads to a shallow understanding of the world. Nominalism, in its simplest form, posits that only individual things exist, and abstract concepts are merely names we give to groups of things. This view, while useful for some tasks, falls short when applied to the complexities of human knowledge and reasoning. It's like trying to understand a symphony by analyzing the individual notes without considering their harmony, rhythm, and relationally emergent difference. One of the ways nominalism trips up AI is through haphazard hyperstatic abstraction. This occurs when AI systems mistakenly treat abstract concepts as concrete entities. For example, an AI system trained on a data set of images might encounter the word cat. It then creates an abstract representation of cat based on the features it identifies in those images. However, this representation remains tethered to the specific instances it encountered during training. It may struggle to recognize a hairless cat or a cat drawn in a cartoon style because these instances deviate from its narrow, statistically derived definition of cat. This over-reliance on specific instances leads to errors in categorization and generalization. Furthermore, this abstraction process often overlooks the context and relationships that give meaning to concepts. A cat is not just a collection of visual features. It is a living being with its own behaviors, instincts, and place in the ecosystem. Without understanding these relationships, AI's understanding of cat remains incomplete and prone to errors. Another challenge arises from AI's struggle with negation. Human language relies heavily on negation to express what something is. We understand that a bluebird is not a robin because we grasp the relationally emergent differences between these bird species. However, AI systems often struggle with such distinctions. Consider an AI trained to identify birds. It might correctly classify a bluebird as a bird. But when presented with a bat, it might also classify it as a bird simply because it has wings and flies. This occurs because the AI lacks the relationally emergent understanding that bird encompasses specific characteristics beyond simply having wings and flying. This inability to grasp relationally emergent negation leads to false positives and a failure to recognize exceptions, limitations, and contradictions. It highlights the limitations of a purely data-driven approach to knowledge, representation, and reasoning. Section 4. Lost in translation, nominalism, and the gap in understanding. The shortcomings of nominalistic AI become even more apparent when we consider human-like relational understanding. Humans excel at understanding the world through relationships, analogies, and metaphors. We see connections between seemingly disparate ideas, draw inferences from incomplete information, and constantly adapt our understanding based on new experiences. Nominalistic AI, however, struggles to bridge this gap. Its focus on individual data points and statistical correlations limits its ability to grasp the rich tapestry of relationships that underpin human cognition. It's like trying to understand a joke by analyzing the individual words without considering the context, tone, and shared cultural understanding. This disconnect between AI's nominalistic approach and the relational nature of human knowledge lies at the heart of the hallucination problem. As long as AI systems remain trapped in a world of isolated data points, they will continue to generate outputs that are factually incorrect, logically inconsistent, and out of touch with human reality. Section 5. Evrostics, a bridge over troubled waters. To overcome these limitations, we propose a new approach, Evrostics. This framework seeks to embed a deeper, more relational understanding into AI systems. By moving beyond simple statistical correlations and incorporating elements of human reasoning, Evrostics aims to bridge the gap between AI and human cognition. Evrostics focuses on capturing the why behind the what. Instead of just identifying patterns in data, it seeks to understand the causal relationships, motivations, and goals that drive human behavior and shape our understanding of the world. This involves incorporating elements of common sense reasoning, intuitive physics, and social intelligence into AI models. By integrating these principles, Evrostics can enable AI systems to reason about causality, understanding why things happen and predicting the consequences of actions, grasp counterfactuals, considering alternative possibilities and what-if scenarios, and handle ambiguity and uncertainty, making decisions with incomplete information and adapting to changing circumstances. Moving towards a more human-like AI involves embracing these advanced frameworks and methodologies. By integrating relational understanding, common sense reasoning, and the ability to navigate ambiguity, we can create AI systems that are not only more accurate, but also more aligned with human ways of thinking. This journey is challenging, but it holds the promise of AI that can truly understand and interact with the world in a meaningful way, much like we do.